Are you looking to move to the Maryland area of the USA? Shoot me an email. I can help you. There's no place like home.
As I record this, today begins the Division Series. We've had the little wild card round series or whatever you want to call them, but now we have the Division Series. And thanks to the expanded playoff format, we get a lot of familiar foes because we get 3 of these matchups are intra-divisional. The one that isn't, we'll start with that. New York Yankees against the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians finished off Tampa Bay with a home run in the 15th inning to win that series, which was that had to be unbelievable. Nothing game for 14 innings, and in the 15th, a home run to win. But this is going to be a different kettle of fish for Cleveland here. New York, in spite of the fact that they had a couple of months where they just were no good, ended up with 99 wins. Really good home team. Really good home team. Powerful lineup.
But there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck.
It's funny. Cleveland played in. Last played in Yankee Stadium in April, so they haven't been to Yankee Stadium, since the beginning of the season. Essentially, hard to see how New York loses this series. Cleveland's pitching is going to have to be absolutely amazing to give them a chance because they're not a huge offensive run scoring juggernaut. The Yankees scored well over 100 runs more than Cleveland did. And the run differential is stark in the regular season. Cleveland was plus 64. The Yankees were plus 240. The one good thing for Cleveland is they've had a couple days off since that 15 inning fight with the Rays. So at least their bullpen, which was used up a fair bit in that game, they're rested and ready to go as well. So that's one side of the American League. The other will feature our first intra-divisional matchup, and that's Houston versus Seattle. Seattle beats Toronto by coming from 7 runs down in the second game to win 10-9. A disastrous way for a season to end for the Blue Jays. I think Houston was pretty happy to play Seattle. Houston was pretty dominant in that division all year, 106 wins, and that included Seattle as well. I think it's and Houston, whatever you think of their previous scandals, is pretty darn experienced at this thing. They've won plenty in October, cheating or not. I think it's a lot to ask for Seattle to pull the upset here. That said, it's an unbelievable result for them to get this far. But I think Houston wins this, and of course, my whole thought was that Toronto would get in this round and upset Houston, and that would clear the way for the Yankees. The Yankees do not want to see Houston because for at least the last several years, Houston's been their kryptonite.
You're supposed to hit the ball!
So then that takes us to the National League. We have a rematch of the 1993 NLCS. We have Atlanta versus Philadelphia. That was a famous Philadelphia upset of a great Atlanta team, and maybe we're going to see the same thing again. I don't know.
Harper the other way, down the left field line. Bryce Harper! Exclamation!
I wouldn't have thought so because Atlanta dominated their division, most of their division this year. But it is kind of setting up similar. Atlanta's got 14 more wins than Philadelphia, yet here they are. Philadelphia having beaten St. Louis with a huge 6-run ninth in Game 1, and then just dominated Game 2. Philadelphia, not a great road team, 40-41 on the road against, and they're going to have to win some road games in Atlanta, where Atlanta's 55-26 at home, which is tied for the second best home record in the majors this year. But, because of that history, and it does matter, people will say it doesn't, but, the manager can walk into that room for Philadelphia and say, you know what, this club's pulled this off before. And again, 5-game sets are funny because it just, it takes one really great pitching performance and it can turn everything on its head.
3-2 pitch again. 1 gone in the ninth inning. 2 gone in the ninth inning. Capture in the moment. Dominguez tries one more time. Got it. This improbable run, this joyride continues for the Phillies.
But for me, the series of the round is the NL West battle between the Dodgers and San Diego. Now, the Dodgers finished 22 games ahead of San Diego, so some folks look at this and say, what are you talking about? I mean, it's just the sheer star power.
This is something else.
The unbelievable pitchers in their both pitching staffs are loaded with talent, and then the star hitters. And look, yes, San Diego was only a wild card team, and considering that they traded for Juan Soto, for them to just scramble into the wild card with 89 wins when you've got Manny Machado and Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis Jr. and all these great hitters is something. But the thing is, they did get in there. They beat the Mets, which I thought they were going to do because the Mets.
You better be careful. You better be careful.
Collapsed at the end of the season, blew the 10.5 game lead. And you could just see them drawing San Diego that they were going to go down the toilet. They surprised me only in that they managed to win one game because I figured they would swiftly collapse and lose both of them. But in the end, one hit in your at home for a 101 win team like the Mets were, that was as pathetic a surrender as you're ever going to see. And the thing is, San Diego has the talent to knock the Dodgers off. 22 game difference, never mind that. When you line these two rosters up, I mean, the Dodgers are better, but they're not that much better on paper, really, even if the regular season says they're way better on paper. I mean, it looks like a mismatch.
Insubordinate and churlish.
Again, 111 wins versus 89. LA Dodgers run differential 334, San Diego 45, which is by far, I think, the lowest it's left in this tournament now. Yes, they're by far the lowest run differential left in the baseball playoffs. But I think this is going to be a great series. I would not be surprised to see it go 7. That said, again, the Dodgers, like the Astros, have been in this position a lot. It's very familiar to them, and they've been successful. So I think I'm counting on that as much as anything to get the Dodgers through. Because I do. When I did my playoff bracket, I had Dodgers Yankees in the World Series. So I'm counting on that for the Dodgers to get through, and we'll see what happens with that. It should be a fantastic that series. If it's not a great series, I'll be surprised. And who knows? Maybe it's 4 great games and the Dodgers win them all. But I just think there will be a lot of drama. There will be a lot of drama in that series, and it will be fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to that. Of course, as ever, the problem is a lot of those games are probably going to be at 10 o'clock at night. So that's going to be an issue for the East Coast folks that have to work in the morning. But that should be a lot of fun. That should be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to that. And that's how I see it going. So I've got pretty much all the favorites here. Yankees, Astros, Braves, Dodgers. I mean, it's all chalk, which that's probably dangerous given how baseball can turn upside down and have weird things happen, and this we kind of had that in this playoffs, with so far with the Mariners winning 2 straight in Toronto, and with Philadelphia knocking over St. Louis in 2 straight. So, but yeah, that series is going to be great. And again, unfortunately for us, most of those games are going to be late on the West Coast. so it'll be hard to watch. All right, so that's it for this week for Rodent Sports. Like and subscribe. We appreciate comments when we get them. Share it around. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.
That's it. We're done, right?